If you see me look up here, I'm talking to my family on Instagram. Down here, I'm talking to YouTube. So today, April 1st, I'm starting a new series that I think is overdue. And being in the business in the hospitality and event space for over 30 years, I've seen quite a bit. And my intention is to give you this free information. Get your pen and paper. These are three quick little tips that will make an impactful uh, result that's positive on your event. All right, so get in here. Let's get started. Now, whether you've been thrown into planning or have been planning events your entire life, you can always count on something unexpected happening. Events, no matter how well they're planned or how well you script them, they're unruly. They're like little 2-year olds. Something goes wrong somewhere. Now, even if you have a comprehensive plan, you still make room for something happening that you didn't expect. So, like a seasoned professional like myself, um, I have a process in place that I rinse and repeat every time so that there is a logical flow, there is nothing being missed, so that there's room for if a monkey wrench is thrown in, there is leeway for me to say, okay, all these things are covered. Let me take care of this new thing. So you get to be flexible to manage the hiccups. And this series is just about that. It's entitled The Biggest Event Planning Mistakes and Their Solutions. My name is Melody Dixon, CEO and founder of Pro Event Planners, curators of eco-focused events. Now, I support clients who are steeped in all things sustainability. They have it in their life, and sustainability is just, I guess it's getting to be on trend. It's not quite there yet everywhere, but it's coming. But there are people who are forward thinking and they already know, okay, I get to be mindful of waste in my home life, in my business, and in my events. They reach out to me because I align with their company policy and their way of being. They're like, she's already there, so I know that if she's on the job, she's going to take care of paper waste and food waste and energy waste and time wasting and all that. So I don't have to worry about the event. Melody's got it. I also support clients who have no idea what sustainability is, but they've seen little things on Instagram, on Facebook, on Pinterest, and they're like, it sounds good. It resonates with my spirit, but I don't know where to start. So they reach out to me and I hold their hands and we take little eco-focused steps. There's some training, there's some enlightening, there's some sharing of information, and they get these little tips in their toolkit. And over time, it makes a big positive impact in their home life, in their business, and in their events. Now, what is sustainability? It's meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. I like to explain it as if God, the creator of the universe, the creator of everything, who is, gave us a part of its energy so that we, by virtue of that, is also expensive. So we like to create art or invent things or start a business or start a garden or create a product or do a new thing with an old thing. Like lipsticks before, I guess, was made from petroleum or whatever the chemicals uh, were back then when they started. Now people are doing things with beeswax and soy wax and coconut oil and all the things. So they can take something old and make it new again. All of that is a part of being creative. But we get to do so intentionally. We don't use all the resources for our generation so that our kids don't have use for it. So we get to be mindful of the resources. So my kids, my kids' kids, their kids, and people 10 generations deep can have access to the same resources. Now, there are three pillars to sustainability. The first one is the environment: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Reduce the use of what we're already using because we use too much anyway. Reuse what we already have instead of buying something new, and recycle. If you have plastic, send it to the plant. They'll wash it out, break it down, make recycled plastic or convert it into something else. I like to throw in a fourth in this category. I call it upcycling. And I guess was exposed to that from the show on HGTV called Flea Market Flip. And it's only when I got so deep in sustainability and being eco-focused that I'm like, wow, upcycling is what they're doing. They're taking something old, and making a new thing from it. So they would take broken down fences or wheels or luggage and convert the luggage into a coffee table, or convert an old wheel into a lamp. There's so many things that you can do to be creative. And that's all a part of taking care of the environment, because you're preventing the stuff from going back into the landfill. At least not yet. You give it a whole new life cycle so you can expand your creativity, but also serve somebody else if they use it in their home or your own home. The second pillar is economics. If it's sustainable, then it gets to make you money as well. It's pointless to have a very green, eco-focused business and you don't have customers and you can't pay your employees. Soon you're going to go out of business and all the stuff you have just will not serve anyone anyway. So if it's eco-focused, it gets to make money as well. Social responsibility. We get to use the resources we have to create businesses that give people jobs so that they can expand their own creativity, maybe get inspired and start their own business. They have a way of taking care of their family. They have their mental health taken care of. They have food and health care, and they're free to be themselves. So those are the three pillars: the environment, economics, and social responsibility. Now, on today's the start of the series, biggest event planning mistakes and their solution. We're going to unpack event planning timing. That's super, super big. Oftentimes, when we get an event, it's not what we can't say to the client, well, I have a spot on June 5th. You have to have your event on June 5th. The timing is in their court. They call me because they know they need to have a birthday party or a particular event on this date, or they may have a couple of dates that are some good options. Here's an example. So March 1st, I got a call. There was a lady, she wants to have her 50th birthday party, April 6th, which is next Saturday. So that means we have 5 weeks to plan a 50th birthday party. Now, it's kind of considered last minute because of all the elements with it. And as a planner who has the experience and has a portfolio of vendors, it's not a thing. The longest part was calling the vendors and finding out availability and sourcing the items and putting that together. But once that's done and approved, the next is just now like, hurry up and come April 6th. If you're not professional, if you don't have the experience in that, then you'll be rushing. Like, where do you start? You have 5 weeks. What do you do? How do you get started? I'm going to share with you 3 things to do to get started. And in this series, we're going to tackle so many uh, problems or mistakes that can be made and their solutions. So we'll start off with getting the event and when to start planning. And it's going to go in order so you can, at the end of the series, you'll have a list of what to do to plan a whole event and what can go wrong and the solutions. Now, the mistake is to assume that you have all the time in the world. I mean, it's just a party. It's just a 50th birthday party. We can just, wait 2 weeks out, we could start. Before you know it, the time gets away with you or from you because life is always lifing. You have work, maybe kids, a significant other, car breaks down, or last minute meeting, last minute business trip. But in the meantime, the date for the event is still coming. As a planner, I know that 5 weeks is absolutely doable to plan an event for someone in the business. If you're not in the business, you may get overconfident because how hard could it be to have a party anyway, right? You throw house parties all the time. But a 50th birthday party is a milestone party. So you can't really just fumble your way through it and have the guests be like, oh, it's my aunt or my sister or my bestie. They're okay with jumping in and taking care of or helping me last minute. Even though that may be the case, that takes away from the experience of the event. It's not going to be a special thing. It's just going to be a house party or a backyard barbecue where everybody's pitching in, which is not what you want for a milestone event. So waiting until last minute or getting overconfident on how you can manage your time is a big mistake. The solution is to start early. As a planner, I don't have control over when my clients call me. If you are working for a company and the boss says, I want you to do this event, you don't have control over when they say so. So the first thing you have to do is to start. The moment you get the instructions, start that day. All right? So start early. Second thing is get an event planning checklist. There's lots out there online. If you need one, email me, info@myproeventplanners. I'll happily send one to you as well. Or you could write your own to-do list if you have some experience doing events for your company. But I wouldn't take the chance on just going off your memory if it's not something you do every day. So definitely get a checklist together. The third thing to do is to gather your team. Last minute events, unless you have the leeway to be 100% dedicated to the event, then I'd say get a planning committee together, get a team together. If you work in sales or HR for a company and you're tasked with planning the event, you don't have the leeway of not doing your HR work or not doing your sales work because you're planning this event, unless your boss tells you to. The best thing to do is to get team. Get your list together and then you divide it. As the person who's been tasked, you are the number one go-to for this event. So you have to have an understanding of everything that's on that checklist. And then you can say on the checklist of 10 things, you will take 4 and then you assign somebody else 3 and then the other person, the rest. That way, everything gets covered in a timely manner so you're not scrambling last minute. Unfortunately, in corporate America, bosses are busy building the business. They're growing their business. They're doing all things bosses and owners do with their company. So when they say, I want you to take care of this, if it doesn't happen, they're not going to remember that they only gave you 2 or 3 weeks or a month to do this thing. they're going to say, I assigned you the task and it wasn't completed. That's because they're busy. They're not noticing. They probably might not have your day-to-day task at the top of their mind so that they can say, okay, well, uh, this event, but she also has to do this thing and that thing and do the callbacks and do the sales and marketing plan or do send out the proposal. They don't care. They're like, I assigned the thing and the thing wasn't done. That's all they're going to do. So to start off, plan as early as you get the information. Get a checklist together so that you know what to do first, second, third, fourth, until the list is done. And you get it done in order and on time when you have team with you so that you're not stretched thin, working long, long hours, trying to catch up and just get overwhelmed. When you're overwhelmed, you don't think clearly, you don't see clearly, you're not very logical, so you make more mistakes. And these mistakes can cost the company money. So now you are assigned a thing, you didn't finish it on time, and you cost the company money. It's just a slippery slope. So start immediately, start on time, start early, get the list, get team. Now, this could be a lot for somebody to manage when they have their tasks that they were hired for. So get support. In the link of this live for YouTube and for Instagram, the link is in the bio, is my pro event package. This is a hire it done. You tell me your boss has given you this last minute thing. They have made allowances for you to get support, i.e. a planner to support you with that, or it could be even project assignments to help you get through some things that you're not familiar with that you need a professional to jump in and support you with. So the pro event package is, we help you with create the budget, find the venue, send out the invitations, monitor that, get you all the vendors, the caterers, the florist, all the things, and staffing, and be there day off. And audiovisual, can't forget audiovisual, so important these days because lots of things are virtual. So we get to have that done without all the stress added with that. So if you need some support, go to myproeventplanners.com, click on event packages. It lists all the packages available. The one in particular I'm talking about is my pro event package. It's going to be detailed. It's going to save you a lot of challenges. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today, my friends. Thank you so much. For more tips, join me tomorrow. We're going to do this whole series of the biggest event planning mistakes and their solutions. And they're going to be quick 3 solutions to the problem so that you won't have like a whole dissertation and get overwhelmed in itself. What is the problem? Here are the solutions. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow.